Yo, 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 we back. Nasty.
Dirty B.
We back with OG right now, Hollywood.
Man, we did real well off his first video that he done with Rapid Travel 247 and
Nasty Nate, 7375.
yeah, his first video actually went viral and I saw that it was a lot of questions that was asked, and so we're gonna let Hollywood give y'all a couple solutions.
First of all, though, that last 12,500 year household income, they said that was wisdom. And you messed us up. So break down the solution. So, whatever.
Well, what do you mean as far
As far as like women was saying that like, cause you said on there that is they fault. Well, not you didn't say it was women's fault. You just said that women was gonna have to pick up the pace, cause I guess you relating to a solution that you want to talk about.
Well, I mean, first of all, I was talking about it starts off in having a mother and a father in the home. That changes a lot of things in our community because a lot of people never had that. It's mostly single family homes. If I'm not mistaken, in Englewood alone, women have 28.5% of being the head of the household.
28.5%.
That's the most in Chicago.
That women is so that's the most in Chicago.
The most in Chicago, but Englewood.
But in Englewood alone,
28.5%.
On being the head of the house.
Yeah, women.
So
is that done because was that done like by default, or was it purposely done for women to be the head of the house? Was that done by default, or was like, a plan?
No, nature just takes its course.
What you mean? Elaborate.
Well, I mean, whatever you do in life, that's what you get back out of. Decisions that you make, choices that you make, there's consequences. That's called grown folks. That's when you know you're grown. You start facing reality rather than blaming society and everybody else. You choose to be in certain situations. Everybody don't. You have people in situations where they don't have a household. It's not good for them. It's not healthy. But you also have them that have great households, and they do the same things that kids have bad households do. So, like, once again, it's choices, decisions that you make. You know what I'm saying? When you say you're grown, then you got to step up to the plate. That's all I'm saying. You got to step up to the plate. Because what happens? Since the 70s, I can take you back. It was the same thing. History repeating itself. Because back then, it was a lot of women. A lot of men couldn't get the job because of conspiracy theories.
So back in the 70s, were women head of the home then?
It was a lot of single family homes. A lot of daddies was leaving.
In the 70s.
Yeah.
I thought that probably took course like in late 80s, early 90s.
That started in the 70s, bro.
In the 70s.
That started in the 70s.
So
Daddies wasn't there.
I'm not trying to cut you off.
In a lot of the households.
Was public aid holding people back then or helping them?
It was helping because you needed to eat and feed your children. You had to feed your family just like that. You got to feed your family, but if you stuck at home because you the one have to take care of your children and you're on public aid, then that's when you fall into 12,500 category.
So how many siblings did you have growing up in your house?
Well, I had 4 brothers and 3 sisters. My mama adopted girls as well.
So how much was the food stamps back then that y'all was getting? Like,
well, I don't know. We was kids. Mom was getting food stamps.
Again, that wasn't your business.
Right. She had her book, writing down the bills, the creditors, look at her budget, max it out, pay all her creditors off. That was it.
How did those women, like my mother was I was a product of a single family home. I was raised by my mother. And it's like, those women were strong.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
Yeah. They built for it. They the woman that's built to be the head, not the head of the household, but really the queen of the household.
Mm-hmm.
If you can understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have some kind of control, which is nurturing the children, raising them, loving them, caring for them. You know, it's encouraging them, making them believe in themselves. That's what a kid always crying for mom. And dad is the man of discipline. He'll give you love. He'll teach you sports.
That's what I was gonna say.
It'll be a little rough here and there, but he do girls differently. But the dad is a little bit of a king role.
When you use those words, head of house, right? I'm saying most women would be that even if they were married, wouldn't they be the head of the house? And wouldn't the man be like the leader? More of a like women gonna control the house. They gonna because the kids gonna flock up under their mother.
A lot of women had a lot of control in the house.
Yeah. See, and my
That's
mother,
what you mean. They really ran the house. I mean, as far as all the fundamentals that go on inside of the house. And when they get hectic, she comes to the husband,
Right.
the father, and she discussed the situation that's going on in the home.
Right. So when she
And
be
what
the
they
head
need
of the
to do
house,
to grasp it and get control of what's going on in their home.
Right.
It was called family meetings back in the day. Parents would get together, sit all the kids, okay, everybody. We're going in the front room, sit on the couches. I'm talking, they talking. So they, tell you what's going on, as far as you getting out of hand, you know what I'm saying? You're not doing your homework, you messing up in school, y'all all messing up.
Right.
You feel me? We're gonna need y'all to tighten up. No more of that.
So,
You feel me?
What do you think about today? Like the kids drops out of like 6th grade, 7th grade, like it's coming now in Chicago. 6th and 7th grade, like.
Well, that happened in the old school, nothing new under the sun.
But
The majority of people didn't graduate back in our day. They was kicked out or dropped out. Now, let me tell you a secret. You need to be proud of the kids today.
okay.
And it's partially because of new technology too, but we have some intelligent children out here.
Yeah, they know how to
Teenagers
work.
and some grown folks, they just make bad decisions. Everybody do. We
Everybody
all make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's get back up again, that's the thing.
so why you say, what was you getting at when you saying today is actually better with the kids? Was it a graduation rate is higher?
Graduation rate skyrocketed. It doubled.
It doubled since.
From the time that we were in school. They graduating. That's not the problem.
So
They
what
don't
would,
get the high school diploma. Now, everybody have a right to choose whether you go to college or not. You can go to trade school. You can do something different. But the majority of kids, they figure once they graduate, that's it.
I'm
I'm
grown.
just going to get a job and give me some money or I'll be in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm going to get a hustle. They choose different things to do. Some people just rob people. And they still in high school.
So what would be the solution to getting these kids off the streets? Could the rap music be a part of the reason why it's going the way it's going? Is it through music?
We're going to take it back to the solution. It takes a village to raise a child.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
It takes a village. See, what made it so hard for our community, I thought about this. In other communities throughout Chicago, you got people that are doing great jobs, like shout out to Mass Moms.
Right.
Mothers Against Senseless Killings.
Okay.
Okay? Great job. Tamar and Kim. Now, Fresh have done great things in the community. You got kids involved in sports programs as well. Me myself have done it as well.
Who is Fresh?
Fresh is Darren. Fresh is Darren Powell. Everybody know Fresh. Darren Harris, Fresh, Darren Powell. Everybody know he did a lot of good work in the community. But see, the problem that we got, we were doing it in spells. We even worked together, but we did it in spells. She had her era in time. We did it before she got here and carried it over 20 years. So you look at it like different people are doing it, but if we can get the village to do it at the same time, then we can collaborate and get everybody working on one accord and together. And a lot of kids, where they gonna be? In all of these programs and all these activities. Getting to know people, learning how to be social, communicate.
So how
And
do we
that's where
draw
it
these
starts.
kids to these programs? Because it seems like today's kids, I myself have kids, and they don't want to do nothing past playing on a video game or being on the phone or tablet or any, those things. How do we get those kids off of those games and back into these parks, back into these baseball programs, you know?
Well, I mean, first of all, you got to do some research and find out what the kid like first. See, that's what school is all about. School ain't to teach you everything. School is to bring out what you're good at.
Mm.
You know, you may not be good at this, but you're good at that. You might be a math genius, you know, and then another person just might be good at sports. Feel me? Physical education.
Mm.
So when you go to school, it teaches you a lot of things, but at the same time, it's really there just to bring out what you got in you, what you good at naturally. It's just gonna come out.
Speaking of sports, what was your best sport? Because you kind of tall and slinky.
Well, I played football, quarterback, wide receiver, multiple positions, defense, cornerback, free safety. But I played basketball too. But baseball was my first sport.
Baseball.
I started playing that at 7 years old.
Back when I was younger, they used to have baseball, and they would call it the Pee Wee League. Can you tell me how the Pee Wee Leagues and all that started, the baseball teams? I remember they had the Royals and all that. I was too young to play. I wanted to play, though.
Let me tell you a secret that no one really pays close attention to, but it started with, we were all playing each other in the community, blocks.
Different blocks.
All ages on the same team.
Meet up.
But this guy named Chuck Holmes, he worked down at City Hall. He came out and he seen us playing, and he was like, y'all get a baseball team together. We can start a league. You know, I got a team already.
White guy, black guy?
He's a black guy.
Okay.
He went across the park.
Hamilton Park.
Yeah, the Red Sox, a lot of young people over there. You got people over there.
And Memorial Park.
Yeah.
James, Big James.
Big James, rest in
coach.
peace, Big James.
Yeah, he was the coach. You know, there was a lot of teams. There was the Cobras, Pool Pipe across on 71st Street. There was a lot of people, you know, that had the park surrounded.
Right.
I'm talking about jam-packed.
Yeah.
And kids was out to play sports, and people came out to watch.
So was it any gangs then? So it was gang? Were there any of those children in any gangs?
But it was really outside. It wasn't the dominating force. The dominating force was baseball. Everybody played it.
Yeah, I saw a lot of kids playing baseball when I was 5, 6 years old back in the 80s. Now, when I got about 10 to 12, basketball had took over. Michael Jordan was in Chicago, and we wanted to be like Mike, you know.
You know, that was a good time that these kids didn't get the experience. I got the experience, all 6 of them, as a teenager growing up in Chicago. Well, the first one, your mama tell you, hey, you stay in front of this house, you better not move.
Righteous.
Then as you get older, they winning more, now you outside, and man.
Yeah.
It'll be a long time, though, before we get back.
Yeah. So, when last time we talked to you, you was telling us that through the music, it was a controlled thing, and it kind of had y'all in better spirits, and y'all were more humble from listening to the music, having the nice parties. Can you elaborate more on that?
Well, you can go to Michael Jackson, too. Michael Jackson made a song called Beat It.
Yeah.
And what that did, he made that song, and then people was gangbanging. Real gangbanging.
Off mic?
In his era.
What?
So what Michael did, he made the song Beat It.
Mm-hmm.
And he was breaking up the gangs. He gave them a message, you know what I'm saying, about how you can harm one another or hurt one another. Because they had
I remember that, yeah. I remember that video where he was...
Michael Jackson's song. So that was something that everybody... Now, you got to remember, we're people of color. So we tend to, you know, grab things, you know, that really kind of hit us, you know, raise our conscience, in other words. So Michael Jackson come with Beat It. These people were all up in the streets, gang banging. They start dancing to the song.
Yeah.
They dancing off Beat It. And that was also a part of the Skyway. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of different kind of good music. House music was the dominant force
The house music.
because it snatched people, and then they took
Right.
it from 75th to 87
The ring.
to where Mr. G's at.
Mr. G.
It was called the Sheba.
The Sheba.
It was called the Sheba first.
Yeah.
That everybody on 75th would go there. And it was people that was over there would come here. And then we had people at the Hummingbird on 85th and Ashland, 86. Right there. And then we go to the Rhodes Theater on
So
69th and Rhodes.
y'all never ran into no trouble back in those days being in different neighborhoods like
No, not
in today's
really.
time?
We had a few people who were a little unruly. Like maybe when we first started, a couple people chased people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then it's died
Basically,
down
a lot of fights though. It was,
because they changed it from dance
to what?
to performing,
Mm,
talent shows. And that's what took it to the next level.
the talent shows.
Be what you can be, who you can sing, dance, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it was the biggest thing in Chicago at that time. It was big, and the shows moved during the week from the Rhodes Theater, the show.
Yeah.
They opened that. That was the opening night where everybody performed all over the city.
Tell me something about Englewood back in the days, like when you was young. Was it a lot of whites? Like, did you?
Well,
like
we used to say
in the
teachers.
Englewood? Oh, teachers. So it wasn't like neighbors or like you could
No.
walk down the street and see a white person or nothing
Well,
like that.
we had a few.
Did they interact with
Yeah,
y'all?
it wasn't like
I'm
they
saying they
fitted
did.
in. It
They
was their
did.
community.
I'm saying they kicked it with y'all. They
I mean,
sports.
well, I mean, maybe not. Because
It was still that bracket back then a little bit.
yeah, we really didn't have. They was like to themselves, you know, and their kids probably was grown. They were old. But the thing it is, our neighborhood was predominantly black.
Yeah.
It was black.
A lot of
We got a
millionaires
lot of-
came through here.
Can I ask you another question about back in the day? Because I also come from this neighborhood, and I remember it more so being black-owned stores around
That's
here.
it right there. Black-owned economy.
Black-owned economy. Now, how could we get Englewood back into that point where we own Englewood now? Because now, you know, we got the immigrants coming in and
And other people buying it up.
other people buying it up. So how do we get this community back, or do we move out of this community? What do we do?
Well, I mean, people can choose to do what they want to do. I'm comfortable at this particular time. I'm comfortable at this particular time. And I can see the transformation already. People just ain't looking carefully and closely. It's changing. They're fixing up the properties.
Yes, there is.
And they mixing the community up. It's not all black anymore.
So
Is that a good thing, or well, how do you see it from being around this community since 1965 and it's now 2024? Where do you see this community going? And what direction by them changing up the neighborhood?
It's gonna make progress, definitely. It's gonna grow. It's a slow process at the time, but I believe as we as a people get together, people with a mind of building up our community instead of tearing it down, then we can start to heal the land.
so
We got to heal the land first, and how we heal the land is we first got to come together, and that's the key. We got people. Well, I don't live around there anymore. Oh, it's bad for me. Oh, it's terrible around there. Yeah, because you wasn't a solution, and you probably was a part of the problem.
So it's parents out here that was a part of the problem with their kids, is what you're saying.
Yeah, some people, because they didn't care, let their kids do anything. You feel me? I didn't let my kids do anything. If they left, they did it behind my back. Know that. Wasn't done in my face.
So you was like raising your kid as like a single man, right? Am I correct?
Well, single father.
Single father. So
Single father without their parents.
would you think you had more control over your kids being a male versus being a woman, being a single parent? Did you have more control like, you know, being a man, putting a man voice on and yo,
My word is bond.
okay.
What I say goes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it, that's all. That's the way it works.
That's the way it goes.
If you're a man, you're gonna be a man. You don't pretend. And you can't be no what they call them poster daddies.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna look at my baby. You ain't never.
Then you
ain't
go
never
right. You just
around
take a
them. You
picture
don't even
with
see
them.
your kid.
Break down that poster daddy. Break that down.
Poster daddy
for
is
the fans. That's people that's watching. That's actually poster daddies.
poster daddies out there is people who just have babies with women, and then they ain't even in the kid's life. Period. They brag about their kids, talk about how they got kids to other people, but they don't even see their kids or do for their children or support their children in no way. Not even with compassion.
Tell them you love them.
They're not there. They're absent. That's a poster dad. Now, if you're in a situation where you was pushed away, there's no excuse for you to leave your child behind. You know,
Even if your baby
it's a
mama's
desperate situation. You hear me?
What about
My
the
child
guys-
is left behind, and I start feeling, no, I got to see my baby. I done went to work 2 days. I didn't see my child yet. It's a nervous condition kick in
right,
because I got to see my baby.
right.
You gotta hear.
You know, your child is an extension of you. Just like you, a seed of your ancestors.
Right.
Same thing. That's just like your arm, your finger, everything. They are you.
Right.
So when you had them, you know what I'm saying? People don't understand this part, right? Fathers, they say, you are the father.
Right.
You know why they know? You know why they know you the father?
DNA.
DNA. Guess what is in the DNA?
What's that?
All the blood. It's the daddies.
The
Mama, they know
DNA
the
is like a
It's
memory
none of the mother's
cartridge.
blood at all. That's how they know. That's your blood. That's your DNA. That's you. And you can't deny it. You know, some people go by and you know the looks of their child. You don't know what your great grandmother looked like. What if your child came out looking like your great like your ancestor from 300 years ago? You don't know what they look like, so you can't say that's not your child. So a lot of people go by that. They don't look like me. They don't look like my mama. That ain't my baby. No, step up to the plate. You laid down with that woman. Step up to the plate. At least get the test to see if it's your child. And if you find that out, then step up to the plate. Because them kids out here hurting. That's another reason why a lot of these kids messed up out here. Broken homes, man.
And that's one thing.
Broken homes, broken the daddies and the mamas. Once you see the mother and the father is no longer in agreement, the child is confused. They confused. That's the thing. Imagine a child's mindset. Because they are already in dreamland as a child. Everything is a fantasy to them. But then when something like that happened, it just messed their world up. Messed their world up. You know, I experienced that. I worked with kids all my life, and I seen a lot of broken homes. And I come from a broken home.
Me as well.
You feel me? Where my father didn't live there. He lived there when I was a baby. You feel me? But my mama raised me on up.
Man, too.
He wasn't a bad person. My mama didn't come against him. She wasn't that type of woman. That just because you ain't with him, you got to put him down.
See, my old man was like this. He's about that money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You need some shoes, you
shoes.
need this, you need
I'm
that.
about to drop that shit off, whatever, take you go get it. You know what I'm saying? You know, my father, he was a good father. We ain't never did no fatherly shit.
So the time, do you miss the time that y'all didn't spend?
No, my father was always in my life, but my father's 75 right now. And he still, like, he 30. So, it is what it is.
That's
you
a
know what I'm
blessing.
saying? So, we always did trips, you know, go out of town, Mississippi, you know, shit like that. But, like, being fatherly shit, like basketball, I just don't never remember doing it. I remember baseball one time, you know what I'm saying? But
My
other
father
than that,
should be fishing.
I never,
Played sports with him.
we played baseball right here at Hamilton Park before, but they used to have a little softball thing. We used to go up there.
I never been to my father's house. I never knew my father's number. I never even been to the store with my father ever. I really don't know nothing about him, but I know him. I don't know nothing about him. See what I'm saying? I know who he is, but I don't know nothing. No, he's not, because if I put out, how many kids I got?
How many do you have?
I got 13 children,
Right.
and I'm in all their lives.
I know that's right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not him.
I can dig that.
You know, a man got, like you say, a man gonna stand up and be a man,
You
no
need to
matter
see your
what.
children. You're gonna find out if they're okay, if they're safe. That should be on your mind. If my child is safe, because I don't know who coming around my children. I never trusted that. I was the type of person that never really liked my children spending the night at other people's homes.
No.
Me neither.
They can spend the
I
night
hate
at
that.
our house. See, that's how my
I
mama
don't
was.
say
My mama
hate.
said, no, you can't go over
I don't
there,
mean
but
that.
they can come over here.
I've never spent the night over one of my friends' house.
Yeah, we wasn't
never-
allowed.
my
My
didn't play
mother
that.
didn't play that either.
You
I
couldn't
never
bring
trusted
nothing
it.
home that she didn't buy. You couldn't bring it in the house.
And on that
You
note,
know.
on that note being said, I ain't trying to cut y'all off, but I had custody of my son when he was 12.
Okay.
And I think I did a good job. Got him through 8th grade, got him through high school, got him to college.
Play sports.
Played sports, got a scholarship, you know. I think I did good. He went down there and messed up, but that was on him.
Righteous.
So I really can say, like, the black women out here these days that's raising kids on their own,
It's hard.
fuck,
It ain't easy.
man.
Shouts out to the women that's out here raising these kids on their own, man. Y'all strong, man, for real. Don't nobody never
That's hard.
elaborate to those women how hard
That's
that is.
hard, man.
But they built for it if they focus. They built for it.
Damn. Like,
They built for
the
it if they
women got
focus on
4,
their
5
priorities.
kids and they
They
a real
children
mother.
first.
You know what I'm saying? They a real mother. That shit hard, man. That's hard.
Shouts out to those women, man, that's doing that, bro. Like, and they don't get credit like that. You know what I mean?
Shouts out to the women who spend time with their children,
Yeah.
Mm.
who be with their children,
Cause
and not dumping them on everybody all the time.
You don't need money
Shout
to
out
spend
to
with
them.
your kids. You don't need money to spend time with your kids.
And what you mean? You said shout out to the women that don't dump their kids off on other people.
All the time.
Can you
They don't never be
elaborate
with
on
their
that?
kids.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, I mean, that's another problem that we have. Why these kids messed up in the street?
Another solution.
They not around their parents.
Give me a
They
solution.
not around the mother. The mother like the club.
Mm.
She like to turn up. She like to party. So if she doing this all the time, she want them kids around. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else babysit. Somebody else keep them. You know, I think a mother nurturing love is the most powerful factor in this world. So when the kid go outside the home,
Mm-hmm.
they know they feel good.
Shout out to my baby mamas too, man. I love y'all, man. Cause y'all take good care of them kids, man. I ain't gotta worry about them.
True.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, women. On that note, we gonna get up out of here. Once again, this Rapid Travel 247.
Nasty Nate, 7375.
But before we get out of here, do we got any more questions that the people was asking that you wanted to ask this brother before we get out of here?
Make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe.
And you don't got no more questions?
If y'all have any questions, drop in the comment. We accepting all comments, no matter if it's real or fake.
Okay, yeah, he gonna answer any questions that you guys got off this interview. You know, any input you guys want to put in, just add it, and we'll get right to it. We thank y'all for watching.